My back hurt. I gotta stretch real quick. I should have done this before pressing record. That's kind of stupid, but it's good to stretch. Anyways, hey, are you ready? Welcome to This and That with Sofia. This is a brand new day. Apologize in advance that this didn't go out when it was supposed to. I just be like that sometimes. I'm a busy woman. I got stuff to do. Don't hate me on it. I got stuff to do. Welcome to a new episode, guys. Pretty sure this is episode 9. This one's gonna be a little different. The past ones I've talked about were mostly because of the pandemic, mental health, other things, but this one's gonna be more of an exposing moment because I know a lot of my friends that I have, or I know a lot of people who I've gone to with middle school, or I've interacted in middle school, so they're gonna know. But for my peeps who don't know me from middle school, it's gonna be new for you. Today I'm going to be talking about middle school memories. It's gonna be so cringy. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So middle school memories. I don't even know where to begin. I honestly try to forget middle school sometimes. That's how bad it was. But at the same time, I can't hate on it. It was some pretty good times. But okay, so I'm gonna start off with the school. Okay, I went to Betsy Ross Arts Magnet School here in Connecticut. Shout out to my school over there. It's changing now, but it's still my school. I'm still proud to say that I'm from Betsy Ross. It's an arts magnet school if you didn't know, which obviously I went there because why not? I love theater, I love the arts. But it's a really good school, at least in my case. I loved going there. It was everything that I had to do. I did not know, that there was an arts magnet school. My mom just put me in there after not getting accepted to another school, which is a pretty cool story because I did not want to go there. I wanted to go to Kerrigan with all my other friends from Forest School Elementary, but my mom was like, you know what, you need to, she was trying to put me in a magnet school for the longest until I got accepted at Betsy Ross, and she was like, go ahead, let's see how this works. And I did not want to go because I had no idea who anyone was, because obviously I wanted to go to Kerrigan, but I actually don't regret not going to Kerrigan, because I loved my time at Betsy Ross. I genuinely did. It showed me a lot, not only about theater but also just being in a magnet school. Felt nice. But let me give you a little preview about myself in middle school. For the people who have gone to middle school with me, yeah, I'm sorry for you. You had to go through that. But the people who haven't seen me in middle school, I'm still sorry for you to having to listen to this. Me as a middle school person. Okay, so let me give you a rundown. Okay, it's a short girl, right? Short person. Long hair, dyed blonde, but it was really ugly blonde. With glasses. Yeah, I had glasses in middle school, which is crazy. But yeah, I had glasses, blonde hair. I was still short. I still am short. I didn't care how I dressed. Obviously there was a dress code, so yeah, technically I did care. But I could say, in my point of view now, looking at myself back then, I will say I was annoying and obsessive, but we're not gonna say anything about that. But yeah, I have changed. I really think so. Maturity wise, obviously, but also look wise and just personality wise. I think I'm still weird back then, still am now. I think I'm still annoying back then, still am now. But some things never change. But yeah, that's a little rundown. So I'm gonna start off 5th grade at middle school. Ooh, so 5th grade was actually not that bad. I don't know why I'm sighing so hard like it was the worst year of my life. 5th grade, I actually liked it. Obviously I was going to a new school. I was kind of scared, kind of terrified. But it was weird because at Betsy Ross you have this thing called Intro to the Arts, where you at co-op we just pick our art, and if we get into that art. I'm in theater. I chose theater. It took a long time to get there, and I'm there, only theater. But the thing at Betsy Ross is that they take you through the rundown of every art they have, and based on all that rundown, you get to choose which art you want to be in. So I guess you guys can kind of pinpoint which one I chose. I chose theater. Yep. I don't know, my mom thought that I would never choose theater. She thought I would choose dance because I like dancing, but honestly theater was just so good for me. I think it was just the theater games obviously that won me over. But yeah, so there's that little thing right there. But besides that, that was like probably the most fun because I got to look at everything and it was really like interesting. Because also another thing at Betsy Ross that college doesn't do is that they have things called core classes and emphasis classes, where you take like your emphasis, which is like your major, I guess, the main thing, which mine was theater, and then you take core classes all the rest of the days. So you take all the other classes you didn't select as like just a small other elective, as you would say, which is pretty cool because even if I didn't pick a class, I would still take it. So yeah, that's like a little bit of like what I liked. Other memories in 5th grade, like that was a long time ago, you know, I'm almost gonna be a senior. That was a little too long, but all I can really tell you is that it was a strange year. You know, it was that point where like you don't know anybody, and if you do, it's kind of awkward because like maybe y'all really weren't best friends or something. So I was just trying to get my way, trying to find my way actually into this new school with that mindset of I didn't want to be there. But yeah, it was kind of hard too because coming from Forest School was a good school, not gonna lie, but going into that, there's so many other people, since it is a magnet school, there's so many other people from other inter-districts that I felt so like not smart anymore. There's people way smarter than me, and I was like, okay, I gotta take a chill pill now because now I'm not that smart compared to all these other people. So I feel like I was really behind a lot. And then another memory I'm trying to remember is there was a lot. I didn't really have that many friends. Obviously, I was just still starting out. I will say, I'm gonna expose myself. I had friends, you know, obviously acquaintances, friends. I really didn't have best friends, but you know, I had little friend groups or whatever in back in the day. Yeah, I had this friend who was also named Sofia, and we would call each other the Stampede of Sofias because we would always run around the gym, because in the gym you had to run laps, and however many you got was basically like your score for the day in a way. And not really, but you know, seeing me, I wanted to be the fastest girl in the gym because it's just my competitiveness. I'm sorry. I just really want to be the fastest to collect as many sticks as I can. Honestly, I don't even know if I still hold a record. I would have to ask my sister, but I would try to be the fastest as I can, and so did she, so did the other Sofia. But there was a lot of drama in that situation that we're not going to get into because obviously people, you know, nice people, obviously if you didn't like somebody you wouldn't become friends with them, but you know, we're not going to get into that. It was really weird because like I said, I was annoying and obsessive over this one guy. I don't think he'll hear this, but well, yeah, he knows who he is. I was always obsessed with this one guy through all the 4 years in middle school, which was really bad. But now thinking about it, it's just like, I don't even do that anymore. I just could care less. But yeah, I was obsessed with this one guy, and it was really bad. He was in my theater class, and it was just, you know, it was just growing up, you know. But looking back at it now is like, I could really have controlled myself better. It's so bad. But you know, mistakes have been made, lessons have been learned. Keep that in mind. Really, all the other stuff in 5th grade was just the normalities, like going to class. I will say, lastly, before I go into 6th grade, one of my inspirations in 5th grade was my 5th grade social studies / language arts theater teacher, Mrs. Romano. I loved her so much. She was such an inspiration to me because we would go to her class and she would read to us in the carpet, and she would have these prompts laid out all over for writer's workshop. Y'all remember that? Writer's workshop? I don't even have that no more. But we would have writer's workshop and she would lay out prompts, and we would choose any prompt we want and make a story out of it. And me, like, I like writing, but it was really nice to actually I would write a whole blown story. That's how much I love writing. A whole book, actually. And so she gave me inspiration to write that, and that's how I found my love of writing, like anything in general, which is probably why I like writing poetry and plays and books and stuff like that. But I really liked her class a lot. I just loved writing, just loved expressing myself with different things. Like, shout out to Miss Romano because she was really a big inspiration to me. All the other teachers could care less about my education. But yeah, so then moving on to sixth grade. Sixth grade, oh my god, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sixth grade was a blur. It really was. Like, it was such a blur. I don't remember anything in sixth grade. All I remember is my teachers. I had Mr. O'Connell, Miss Sales, Miss Johnson. I had a bunch of teachers. But that's literally all I remember from sixth grade. I was still obsessed with the same guy. I was still in theater. I had different friends. I can't remember any, but you know, I was still the same. Try to get good grades, smart girl. I made friends with Izzy. I don't know if Izzy's gonna hear this. I made friends with her in Mr. O'Connell's class. She was like my good sis. We would basically do everything in that class because we just did not know what we were doing, so we would just help each other out. Yeah, we had good times in that class. It was Mr. O'Connell was a funny dude. All I remember from him is like we would ask like those teachers where we would like, can I go to the bathroom? And they're like, can you? And they're like, I don't know, can I? And they're like, can you? I don't know, I'm asking. And then you have to be like, may I use the bathroom? Yeah, those teachers, that was him. He would literally ask you, I don't know, can you? And it was just I don't know, it was too much for me, too much. Or he would be like, when a kid is like doing something and then they're like they suck their teeth. Mr. O'Connell would be like, you keep sucking your teeth are gonna fall out. I don't know, he was just a cool dude. Half of the time I didn't know what he was talking about because obviously he taught social studies and history wasn't really my forte. So half of the class I didn't know what he was talking about besides geography because I like geography. But yeah, I wish I could tell you so much more about sixth grade, but I can't remember anything. All I remember is some teachers were bugging me, some are pretty cool. Basically, I don't remember who I was friends with either. I don't know, sixth grade was just there. Like, I don't know, do y'all remember your sixth grade year? I genuinely don't. I wish I could tell you everything. All I remember is this French teacher. Y'all remember Miss Criswell? Ooh. She was very, very interesting. She was very interesting. I did not pay attention to her class. I don't think half of the class did. She tried her hardest, poor sweetheart. But like, I don't think teaching us was the best idea. But yeah, that's all I remember in sixth grade. So we're gonna move on to seventh grade because I know a lot more about seventh grade and eighth grade. Ooh, that was too much. But yeah, let me know what y'all did fifth grade and sixth grade because I really can't remember. So seventh grade. You know, I don't know where you guys went, but like at Betsy Ross, the 5th and 6th graders are on the first floor, and then the 7th and 8th graders, like the elite, were like on the second floor. And so it was like that. Once you once you like moved up from 6th grade to 7th grade, it was like, oh, I'm a big role model now. I'm the big kid now. You know, I'm there. Because now you're on the second floor, and the second floor meant everything. You know, which now is like when I go into the school now, being a co-op, which is like an extra 2 more floors than Betsy Ross. Now I'm just like, this school mad tiny. I don't know how I thought I was the conqueror of the second floor. But yeah, being in 7th grade, it was like an honor because you were on the second floor and you just felt all old and smart, and I don't know what I'm saying at this point. But yeah, 7th grade, I had this one teacher named Miss McGonagall. She left after. I don't know why. I miss her. But she also, I don't know, it's the language arts teacher sometimes that just be inspiring me. But I also liked her too because she introduced me to Greek mythology with Percy Jackson. Oh my god, I love that book. And just reading and stuff, and like reading certain books and just talking and stuff. I really liked her. She helped me with the problem too. Like I said, I was still in the same problem with the same guy. There was a whole problem that happened with that some, I don't even know, some miscommunication that happened with somebody. That was a whole thing because it was literally over a guy and that I couldn't get, and I wasn't mad, but yeah, there was a whole thing happening in that. But other than 7th grade, I had Miss Sip. I was like her favorite student. I don't know why. It wasn't even just because I did the work. Like, I remember feeling so special and sitting in her like computer desk and monitoring the computer, because because I just felt so special clicking next on each like slide. I don't know why. But yeah, I loved her classroom though. It felt like a lounge. Like I would go upstairs. I would go upstairs instead of going to the cafeteria. I would go upstairs and in her classroom and sit on one of the couches and just eat my food, because I just did not want to be social. I just wanted to be by myself, and or take some friends up with me and talk there instead of being in the lousy cafeteria. Which is really nice because I didn't want to go all the way upstairs from lunch. I could just literally walk down the hallway and not be in class. Sometimes I would get in trouble though. We're not gonna talk about it though, because people, they don't like people being upstairs when they're not supposed to, so you had to do a little sneaking. Yeah, that whole thing. I had Miss Chi, who was my science teacher. There's a lot. I felt really honored though as a 7th grader that I'm not gonna brag or anything, but I was in all advanced classes, so there was like other places I had to go in order to like go there. So in 7th grade I was in pre-algebra, I think, which is like the advanced one before algebra. And I had Miss Oliver. I love Miss Oliver. She was the best. Oh, she's so nice. I love her too much. It's the math teachers, I swear, they all act the same way, but like we love them. So yeah, Miss Oliver, she's like more of the advanced kind of in a way. And I remember having all my classes in the 7th grade wing, and then only her class in the 8th grade wing. So I was like up looking at mad 8th graders thinking that I was mad tiny. But it felt really nice to go into her room. Her room was nice too. She loves painting and decorating the back of the wall with quotes and pictures and stuff. And so it was really nice walking into her classroom and being like, oh shoot, like I sat there, and all types of stuff. But yeah, I remember her class. I loved just being special walking down the 8th grade wing when I was a 7th grader, and like having her teach me. She really helped me in a lot, which I'll get more into in 8th grade. But she was one of those teachers, that you really didn't mind if you were alone with her, or you can just conversate with her and not really feel intimidated or uncomfortable, because you could literally just ask and it just felt nice. She had her moments, but like I said, everybody got their moments. But 7th grade, there wasn't really a lot going on. I still had theater. Obviously that was my emphasis for 4 years. I'm not even gonna say his name. Let's just say Mr. Sardines. I'm gonna call him that. I had him as my theater teacher. He how do I say this in the nicest way possible? He was a good teacher. It was a weird year for me because I just didn't like him as my teacher. It was a lot going on. I don't know if Kendall will be hearing this or anything, but I remember precisely, Kendall, if you're hearing this, I remember we were doing our Black History Month presentation for Black History Month, our play, and we were doing all types of stuff that included like Rosa Parks and like Martin Luther King and all that, and we were presenting it, and we were in rehearsal. And we were all preparing for rehearsal, and there was a chest that we needed to carry, and it was mad heavy, and so when we put it down, we didn't realize there was nothing in it when we rehearsed. And so CMR, the guy who was in our theater class, he sat down and he fell, and we all started laughing, and he got mad. And I was like, he just sat down and he fell, wasn't a problem. And then me and Kendall were talking like near the corner of the room, because she needed help on some type of question on where she should be during the scene, and I was like letting her know, but for him it looked like we were whispering and talking while he was talking, but I was just letting her know what was going on. And then he started yelling at us, and he's like, just sit against the wall. And I'm like, oh, I was like, I'm just letting her know what she gotta do. And he's like, I don't care, sit on the wall. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we sat on the wall, right, because we were perfect little cute children. And he was just talking, and I was like mad. Like at this point I was mad. I was stone cold mad, and I'd never been mad at a teacher before. And suddenly like he looks at me, he's like, what are you laughing? I'm like, I'm not laughing at anything, I just don't see what's the point of this. And like I said, I had never clapped back to a teacher before. I never talked back or nothing. Like, I'm quiet, I don't do nothing. But it was that one point where I was like, yo, I don't understand why we're sitting in the wall. I was like, we weren't even doing anything. I was just telling her what she had to do. And so Mr. Young, the teacher that I had 8th grade year, he was in the back and he was listening. He's like, is that how you should answer to a teacher? And I was like, I don't know, but I don't care because you're not my teacher. I feel so bad knowing that he was going to be my teacher 8th grade. But I said that. And everyone was just like, oh wow. And so when we left, we didn't rehearse anything else, and so we all decided to go to Miss Pet and talk to her about the situation, about how we didn't like him and all types of stuff. It was so bad because then he kept looking for us because we missed the period. He came looking for us and he found us. That was so bad. If any of y'all in that class remember, oh, we had some good times. We had some good times in theater too, when we would like have like the first few minutes of class where we could just play with the ball, and we played soccer or basketball and all types of stuff, and then they would get mad and take the ball away from us because we didn't pay attention. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that was fun. Or volleyball, all types of stuff. But yeah, that was fun. That was a whole thing in theater. I had French class, and I had like 3 different teachers in all 4 years of Ross. This one was named Miss Martha. Yeah, me and Kendall had some very, very special moments in that class. Yeah, it was cool. Like we had our moments where we're just like, what are we doing here? We don't want to be here. And the other times we're just like on our phones. Like, why not? We're just chatting during the whole entire class and not doing anything. I will say I learned French, but like, je ne sais quoi. That's all I know. Yeah, so that was a move. We continued having core classes. You know, I had Mr. Louise. He was my favorite dance teacher. But I also like Miss Nikki because Miss Nikki's cool too. I love the way she structures and choreographs. In other, you know, core classes, I'm not gonna go individually each one, but you know, we did music. We had visual art, which was basically just art, dance, and etc. etc. So it was really fun. Not gonna lie, I don't think I had any major things happening in 7th grade besides that one problem. But like other than that, I was chilling. Like I had my friends. Rolling down memory lane, all types of stuff. And then came 8th grade. Yay. You know, it's the part where you know you're gonna graduate, but you don't want it to end yet. That was me. I was like, I want this to be over, but at the same time I don't want to go to high school. High school is the scariest thing. So in 8th grade, I was in the 8th grade wing, so I knew I was special in some way, somehow. I had Miss Oliver again. I had her for, like I said, the advanced period. I love like how she told stories about her life and everything. It's like those math teachers, they just tell about their life and everything, and it's just so nice because you're just like, tell us more, but like really you don't want to do the work. But her work, it was really hard and then really easy. But like now going in high school and learning it again, it's like, oh, this is easy, I can do this in a flash. But back then it was like, I don't know how to do this exponents, I don't know what PEMDAS is, you know, it was so confusing. But yeah, she would give us tests all the time, and I don't know, but she was really nice. It's not like I'm saying like she was horrible. Like I love still talking to her now. Like I'd be like, oh, I did this. The only thing that I really liked is that in 8th grade, it was the only time where she knew our class was like very smart and we liked to do the work. And so we were supposed to be learning Algebra 1, but then she kind of got off unit and said Algebra 2. She said geometry. She said all types of stuff. And we were just like, we're supposed to be learning Algebra 1. But it really helped me because once I went to geometry freshman year, I was like, I got this. But yeah. And then I had Mr. Neary, but we're not going to talk about him because I don't like history, and that class was just all over the place. But I'll keep talking about it more in the end because I got juicy stuff. And then I'm trying to think. I had the Edwards. I had Miss Edwards as my language arts teacher. Shout out to Miss Edwards. If she sees this, she's gonna count how many times I say I swear. See? Oh no. So she was my language arts teacher, right? And everybody thought of her 2 different ways. Either the best teacher really teaches you some way, and then the hardest teacher to get a good grade or just impress, period. I kind of see her 2 ways now before I saw the other way. I saw I'm trying so hard to improve, to impress her, to know that I'm doing a good job. It was just very, very traumatizing as a child. It was just like all the work and the essays and the way she wanted it to be handed in, the way she wanted it to be structured and everything. It was just like, if I don't do this good, I'm going to fail. Like, that was literally my mentality. If I do not take effort and time in doing this well, I will fail. But now thinking about it, in high school, she really helped me prepare for high school, no doubt. I still use her format for essays and stuff. I still use the things she used to say to me, trying to improve my stuff. I still do all that. And so I feel like she definitely helped me in high school. No matter how hard I tried in her class and how many hard times I had, it really did prepare me for high school. And that's basically all she told us. We are scholars, she would tell us. And so I genuinely think that I am a scholar, because the way she taught me was really good now in high school, even though it probably crushed my dreams in middle school. But I remember everybody always complaining about her. But a lot of the things, like, since I like writing, it wasn't really hard for me, but I could tell why other people were struggling, because she did have a very precise way of doing things. So yeah, that was Miss Edwards. I still had gym. I still had my French teacher. Still had Miss Martha. Then theater class, I had Mr. Young, the guy who I talked back to in 7th grade. I had Mr. Young as my theater teacher. But to be honest with you, I love him. He's one of the best theater teachers I have been with. He's basically the majority of why I love theater. Not only because of the games, not only because of the shows, not only because of what we did or performed, he was literally the start of my inspiration for theater. He really knew how to inspire and how to captivate us in theater, which is so good, because he was basically my start into theater. It was just everything to me, because I was just in theater just because, like, it was fun and, like, things that interested me. But he was really the one who was like, in my head and saying, this is what you gonna do. This is basically what you're meant to do in life. And I was like, period. Like, that's what I want. I really love theater, and he's the reason why. Oh my God, I can't speak. But yeah, he touched me a lot, mentally and emotionally. I was like, you're a really good teacher, and everything you taught me, I'm still using to this day, which inspires me a lot. Everything else, like, I've always been good friends with Miss Pat. I love her so much. I hope she never leaves, because everybody else left, and so I hope she never leaves, because she's just my best buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other memories in 8th grade. So I'm gonna take a time to calm myself. Let me just calm myself real quick, before I expose myself. A lot of people know, actually, very few people know what happened to me in middle school, because either they went through it with me, or they know now because I really trust them and I really told them what happened. Nothing really bad happened. I didn't do nothing really bad. It was just that I went through a rough patch in 8th grade. Not only because, one, I didn't like the way I felt or look about myself, but also there was situations that made me rethink about friendships and all kinds of things. I'm not gonna name names or anything, but I had this one friend. He was my best friend, all through from 7th grade to 8th grade, and he really meant a lot to me. Like, I would talk to him, my God, best friend, until we got into a relationship, and everything, and we started drifting because of that relationship. And so I was like very hurt because I wanted to talk to my best friend and I couldn't. And I know a lot of people who have gone through this, and it really hurts to know that people went through it too, but also that I went through it, because it truly did hurt. I went through an emotional state of, I don't know if it was depression. I don't know if it was just my mental state just literally hit rock bottom, but I just didn't know what to do at that point. And the whole shebang, constant tears and just constant weight on my shoulders, like, I have to keep this to myself because sometimes I would think, did he block me? And it wasn't even him. Or why doesn't he want to talk to me? Because he can't. And so that really hurt, because he was the only one who I could really talk to about the most important things. So yeah, that happened, and so I couldn't really speak to him basically the whole throughout the thing. And I had this one friend in Mr. Neary's class, because everything happened in Mr. Neary's class, where, shout out to Lanaya, I would write notes to her and we would talk during literally the entire class. I still don't know how I passed that class. But I would talk to her about the situation and stuff, and like, she was there to help me. Still, it was kind of weird because we were in that class and we still couldn't talk. It was weird. It was a whole vibe that I just didn't want to go through again. And so it's kind of weird saying that he is the cause of why I hit rock bottom, but I never want to put anybody at fault, even though that's what it seems like. But yeah, I just had a really rough patch in 8th grade because of that. Because, you don't want to lose someone because of a relationship, because they're acting weird, they changed because of somebody else. And so, it was hard. And I couldn't really, for graduation, couldn't really talk to him, couldn't really take pictures. So that whole thing just dropped everything that I had, and, I felt like it was worthless to even be there, which is really bad, and I see that now. I tell myself now that I never want to go through that again, which is why, wow, I'm really exposing myself. Which is why I told myself, if it happens again, we're not gonna be friends. And so we're not friends. Let's just leave it at that. And it hurts to make promises to people, that aren't really going to stick. I tell myself all the time, if I had it differently, if I chose to make different choices and do other things, I probably would have an amazing formal, not be sad. I would have an amazing graduation, an amazing end of the year. But I let myself go there. So it was really hard, because that was like my last year at Betsy Ross, my last memories, and the fact that my memories were those memories, they were really bad. But obviously I don't regret my choices. Whatever happened, it's the past life. I'm just reminiscing the memories because they're there. They made me who I am. And if I can opinionate them, if I can express them, it's going to come out no matter who I tell them to. And so might as well, admit it, earn it. It's my past. It's my story. And I'm putting it out there, not to hurt anybody, but to know that I see myself before and I look at myself now. And I think there's a huge change because of what I went through, because of things that happened. And I gladly think sometimes that I went through that to become a better person. And so sometimes when you think that things are happening to you because you just deserve it, or you're a bad person or everything, those things are going to help you in the future. Trust me. Because after middle school, I had a great summer. Obviously, as you can see, I changed myself. I got contacts, cut my hair, dyed my hair, all types of stuff. And I became a better person. I know mentally where I'm at, emotionally what I'm doing, and physically where I'm getting, or where I'm going for. And so everything that had happened in middle school, I had great memories with friends. I appreciate the friends I had. I had great memories with teachers. I appreciate the teachers that I had. I bless everybody who had interactions with me. And the other people, and also the people who I didn't interact with, people I had problems with, the people who didn't like me, I still say, I'm sorry if I offended you, I'm sorry if I did something, but it's in the past. All I can do now is just move forward. And those are memories, and then again, the bad memories that I've went through helped me become a better person. And that may sound cheesy for some people, but genuinely, it does work that way. Like, it's always going to be a lesson learned in one case or another. So, those are my memories in middle school. I probably have more, but genuinely I just blanked out. But, let me know how you went through 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, what happened. There's always the comment section below. You can always share that. There's also my Instagram down in the description, either my main official Sofia with an F Michelle, or the podcast page. You can always DM at this and that podcast. I'm always there to talk about anything, So yeah, this has been the conclusion of my middle school memories. If you've been there, like I said, cringe. If you heard this, like I said, you know the cringe now. Which is rare because I really don't talk about my middle school experiences, which is now you understand why. But definitely it's still my past, so I have to own it one way or another. So I'm proud of that. But I don't want to take up too long. Hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys understand and enjoyed this whole segment of me exposing myself and just admitting my faults and admitting all the things I went through to become me, the same annoying crazy person. But yeah, I'm always here. Make sure to follow those Instagrams below. I'm always here to talk. Comment section, make sure to like, subscribe, share everything, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.